Hello everyone, welcome back to part 2 of my story. I'm still out here waiting for Manny, enjoy his fishing. We've been told that we can stay here as late as we wish. There's no time limitations, and some people told us that they stay until dawn to watch the sunrise. Yes, believe it or not, um, I don't think we're gonna do that, but we decide to stay for another hour. So in order to kill time, I thought, why not make another part 2 of my story, because I don't know when I get back home. Probably gonna get busy, do other thing, and then before you know it, I might forget. So this is the best time. This is the best time to continue my story. For 7 months that we stay in Indonesia, refugee camp. We got donation from United Nations and Red Cross. We got food and medicine delivered to our campsite. I think it's been so long, I don't remember exactly, but I believe every week or month, I'm not sure. It's been 42 years. So we, even though we have no money, we have no income, we have no government assistance, but we did have food and medicine from United Nations and the Red Cross. Thanks to them. That's the reason why I'm still here, standing here, and share my story with everyone out there. So for 7 months, it's a beautiful island. The weather, tropical weather, is exactly like in Vietnam. 80 something degree every day, all year round. They didn't have 4 seasons: spring, summer, autumn, or winter season. So that was nice. We stay there every day. We have to get in line to get water supply for our cooking and cleaning. There's only 3 water faucets that run through our campsite. Over 500 people, refugee, share 3 water hose, water supply. So every day, as my job is to get in line, to wait in line and get the water for cooking, for my family cooking and cleaning. As far as taking shower, we have to basically come to the local. We would walk to the locals resident and basically ask them if we can take a shower. Someday there were nice family who would welcome us to use their showers, and then someday we got nothing. So it depends on the day. But overall, the native people there are very nice, very kind. We once in a while we get um, people would come and would, you know, give us money and toothpaste, soap, shampoo, things like that, bare necessity. And then we got food and medicine donate from or provide from United Nations. So that's all we need. That's all we need for 7 months. We live a very very peaceful, very um, relaxing kind of environment. Um, of course, that's me talking here because I was so young. So to me, um, it was a carefree. It was a carefree period of time in my life. Um, I don't think that um, I don't remember, you know, if I ever had such a, you know, a great vacation then after that. But for adult like my parents, it's very challenging, and I can tell that all the adults, they kind of worry because we all on a waiting list to be sponsored to either United States or any other country that willing to sponsor us. Some of us have family member that they get sponsored from, but the rest of us, mostly the rest of us are waiting. We're waiting in line on a waiting list for anyone, any organization, whether the church or the non-profit organization to sponsor us over. Um, we got sponsored by a church in Arlington. That's where we end up um, staying for the first couple months when we first got to America. It's trying to gather my thought here. um, so for 7 months in Indonesia, everything was peaceful, was uneventful. Basically, we just waiting to be sponsored. Um, we just don't know when, and we just don't know who's gonna sponsor us. But as far as food and medicine, we never have to worry about that. And oh yeah, every day we have this priest who volunteer to deliver mail and pick up mail for us, for you know, people in the refugee camp, and so that was nice. It's been 42 years. It take me a while for it to come back. I remember one day as I was walking on the beach, it's just clear blue turquoise water and crystal white sand and coconut tree, and it was like paradise. Paradise. It would truly was a paradise for me. So I love it. I enjoy every moment of it. um, I I walk to along the beach every day, pick up seashells, and one day I stumbled upon this huge scallop shells. It was the biggest shell I ever seen, and it was so heavy too, trying to carry that thing back to the campsite. And I remember asking someone to crack open that shell, and it took us a while, but we finally opened that, and it was like a scallop inside. It was so interesting. And so we ate the scallop, and then we saved the shell for like making like a bowl, like a basin to fill up with water to wash our hand and face. So that was cool. And then one day it was so hot and humid, so a whole bunch of us jumped down into the water to to cool off. And a few minutes into it, we hear somebody was yelling and pointing toward us, saying, speaking their own language, and we didn't understand what he's trying to say. He kept pointing to the water and keeps basically, I think, like, get out, get out. And it took us a while to finally understood what he was trying to say. And then we get out of the water, and then later on, we found out that he was trying to tell us that the water is infested with shark, with white shark, like in Jaw movie. For real, not a movie, but for real. It turned out Indonesia, Indian Ocean are it's infested with shark. The most shark ocean in the world. So and it's near Australia as well. So yeah, they share the same ocean, the same water. But after that day, we never jump into the water or take a swim ever again after that. But when I went to the market with my mom, I did see they sell sharks. And one day I came across this shark. The head, it was so big. It was humongous. And I was so taken back by how big that shark head. It was like, let's see, what is the size? It was as big as, I'm trying to think what I can compare with. It was as big as a round table. Yes, it was as big as a round table that I use for my workstation at home. And it was just the head alone. And it was scary. It was like, oh my gosh. And somebody makes some stupid joke saying, maybe we should buy that head to, maybe if lucky we might find some diamond ring in the head. And I didn't think it was funny at all. I didn't think, it was funny to make fun of, like of somebody like being eaten by the shark. But I thought it was a stupid joke, to be honest. But But overall, the native people are very nice, were very nice. So after 7 months of staying there, uh, we got sponsored over here by the church, and we end up living in Virginia, in Arlington. And they set up a place for us to live behind the church. And I'm not sure, it's been so long. I don't know how long, I don't remember how long, a couple months. And then they put us in an apartment in with a whole bunch of other refugees. We all stay in the same apartment, and we went to school, and my parents, we all go learn English as second language, and so yeah, for us, we pick up English fast because we were young and we learned fast. It took us only 6 months to be able to understand and speak English to the teacher and to other kids in class. And I went to middle school here and high school, and finished college. And yeah, but I remember we were on a flight from, well, we have to take what do they call it? A ferry. We have to take a ferry that go from Indonesia to Singapore. So we take a ferry to, it was interesting. My first ferry ride from Indonesia to Singapore, and then from Singapore we stay a night or two there waiting for our flight. We would get on a flight from Singapore to, oh my gosh, across the Pacific Ocean, all the way from Asia across the Pacific Ocean, over 20-hour flight. My very first airplane, my very first flight, over 20 hours plus. And we land, we have to stop by San Francisco to switch plane. So we have to stay a night. We have to stay a night at San Francisco, and then switch to another plane that going from San Francisco all the way across from the West Coast to the East Coast. That's another 6-7 hour flight, and finally after over 20 hours something, we finally land at National Airport. I remember I was so dead tired. I passed out on the taxi ride from the National Airport to our relative apartment. I was totally exhausted, and I mean totally exhausted. our very first American food when we our first night when we came to this country was Pizza Hut. Some relative took us out and say, "Hey, this is welcome to United States. This is Italian food." It turned out to be Pizza Hut, but never had it in my whole life. So, and when you're so hungry and tired and exhausted, everything tastes wonderful. So it was my very first meal in America was Pizza Hut. But oh yeah, I forgot to mention that when we had layover in San Francisco, it was in December, close to the holiday, Christmas and New Year. December, I believe, December 18. And my first reaction when they opened that airplane door, we were all dressing like summer clothes, in our summer clothes, like at the refugee camp. It's just like what we wear in Vietnam. And here it is in the middle of December, you know. And the minute the stewardess opened the door to the cabin, we were like, oh my God! We were all turned around, ran back inside the cabin because it was freezing, and we were wearing like thin dresses and I mean short and t-shirts and we were like, oh my God, oh no. We were all like shaking like a leaf. We were all turned pale. We were so freezing. And then somebody was calling the captain, and the captain announced over the announcement that over his speaker that everybody please stay put for a few minutes. Someone will bring some winter coats, a jacket to the plane, so hang on tight, and just a few more minutes and we all can get off the plane. And so yeah, someone must have called down to the airport, and it turned out that someone delivered a whole bunch of must be from the church or a non-profit organization, brought a whole bunch of jackets, winter jackets and coats, gently used. And everybody would just grab one. We didn't care if it fit us or if it looked good, or we don't care, because we were just so grateful that we have something to cover ourselves with against the cold outside. And I'm talking about the middle of December here, so that was our very first culture shocks, or how should I say, the weather. Different in weather from Vietnam to America. So yeah, that was our first culture shocks, but that was just one of the many other culture shock that we experienced through our first few years living here in America. But that's I would have to save for another video, because time is running out. So there is other culture shocks, and we also experience discriminations, and sexual harassment at work. So these are other topics that I also want to mention in my books, in my story, but that's for a later chapter, another video. But for now, I already 25 minutes into it, so I will looking forward to continue my story at the next video. Until then, everyone, have a peaceful evening. God bless.